Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And a peek at the man under center. He has 5 full years in the league under his belt, now in year number 6.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Now Spears to begin the drive, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The numbers for Spears on the ground a week ago. 16 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown.
And they've already clinched a playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Stewart sets to throw. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their 3rd-year quarterback.
I guess we're going to have to nickname him the thrower, aren't we, or something like that.
After last week?
I mean, man, you're talking about over 400 yards throwing the ball. The running backs and everyone else may be looking at him like, hey, don't forget us. And he'd probably just tell him, listen, you want to get involved? Go out and catch some passes. I'll make sure you touch it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking right sideline, that's complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great play there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Bucs will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Here's Stewart to throw it. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Trying to get that one to Chris Olave, but now it's 3rd down. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled. After that one.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd down and 6.
Back to throw here. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And that's their first sack of this game. But how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They're really working in sync right now.
Tough spot here. 3rd down and 11.
They'll look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have the Bucs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
2nd and 9. Right back to Spears.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
It'll be a 41-yard punt, give him 5 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. A beautiful fake. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. On play action, they'll throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
So, Charles, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now, here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season, because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the first quarter. Charles, he's on pace for over 400.
And playing with great confidence, isn't he? I think he probably had it coming into the game, and now that he's really come out of the gate this strongly, I'd like to be in the huddle with him right now. You know he's demanding the football. And guess what? I throw it to him. He's having a fantastic game, and they haven't defended him yet.
A big pickup of 38.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They're going to look to throw. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Saints coming out now to take the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10.
Come on, come on.
Stewart. And that, incomplete. Daylight in front if he could have held on, but he didn't. So instead, it's 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
2nd down. Here's Stewart. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Here comes the Saints punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. Taking on the midfield logo. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. So out come the Bucs now. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass.
There he goes, right side. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play that time for Tampa Bay.
So that one just a little touch pass, but it paid off quite handsomely.
Yeah, and let's face it, the quarterback loves it because it pads his stats as a completed pass for nice yardage downfield. But I like the way they get the receiver in motion. It's almost like he's running a route before he gets the football because he's got a full head of steam when the ball is popped.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great effort there.
His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs take a 3-touchdown lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it.
Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles, and it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. But I think we get it during the regular season, too, because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulling out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback.
That one's taken in by Spears.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he spins free, and he works free. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. He returns the punt 64 yards on the score. And the Buccaneers are able to add on to their first half lead.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. But it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
They'll start on the ground with Spears.
And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Carroll over the middle, complete. That's Hunter. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. And this offense on 3rd down today, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Fielded just inside the 30. And he's loose again. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 71-yard punt return. And the Bucs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, if you're into cheesy movies, you would title this one A Half to Remember, wouldn't you? His 2nd return touchdown of the game.
What if I'm not into cheesy movies?
Well, go ahead and get into it, man, because I just did it, and you're going to green light that one. How about those returns? Maybe they ought to think about not kicking him the ball.
Yeah, they might want to go away from him in the future. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. On 1st and 10, it's Spears.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Here's Spears on 2nd down.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Throwing now, Stewart. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination.
Here's Tommy Townsend now,
as he's on to punt for New Orleans. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Tampa Bay offense set to go again. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
36 yards on the play.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
Up the middle they go. It's Parker. And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. First and 10.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. From down at the 12, it's first and 10.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Buccaneers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Now for the point after. And the route is on here in this first half. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
They will throw on first down with Stewart. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Now Stewart, second down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Waste of time.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. This time they stay on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on here to punt it away. It's taken to the 26. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
One more drive here for the Buccaneer offense in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Looking to throw.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down. They'll throw now on the final play. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So we have come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you on over.
Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the third quarter.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. He'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
These two teams, they met in Tampa earlier in the year with the Bucs prevailing in that one. So they'll be looking for the win here in New Orleans to complete the season sweep. Second and 6.
They'll set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete.
Now he's loose down the left sideline.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game.
And the Bucs are pouring it on. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. On first down, Stewart. And escapes the... And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. From the gun, it's Stewart. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hunter. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on third and long. Looking to throw. Stewart.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And the return will stop right around the 25. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
Here's Tucker.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
From the 21, here's 2nd and 6.
They'll try the left side. Parker. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
He'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd and 6 with the ball on the 7.
They'll drop to throw. And that's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Buccaneers take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or 2? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Stewart.
There's Chris Olave.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. Looking to throw. Stewart. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans. Rolling along here in the third quarter. 2nd and 10.
Throwing again. Stewart. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Here's 2nd and 10. Hand off to Spears.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Stewart sets to throw. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play out.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. 2nd and 9 now from the 21.
They run. It's Tucker.
There's a nice move. Up past the 25 to the 26. A gain of 5.
Holding. Offense.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. He'll look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Here's Stewart to throw it.
Throwing out right here, caught by Olave. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Out of the gun to give to Spears.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Here we go.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Operating from the gun, Stewart.
And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been stymied left and right. Converted only 1 time. This is 3rd down and 12. Throwing out of the shotgun, it's Stewart. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds. Yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Waters. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Take it at the 37. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Throwing to start the drive. Stewart.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now Stewart throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
There he goes left side. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick him off for the 2nd time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Bucs are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
To throw is Stewart. To throw on 2nd down. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. They overload him that time of the safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to kick it away. That's taken it around the 40.
And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back.
And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll run on 1st down. It's Parker. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
70 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
To throw on 2nd down. Waters looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Williams. And he's brought down. He was over 100 receiving last week. He's over 100 now this week as he's got a 1st down as well.
Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the 4th quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows it?
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
The New Orleans offense set to take over. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a 1st down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Hunter. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now Stewart on 1st and 10. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Stewart.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Bucs are going to have it here at their own 15. Oh, my goodness, CD. I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball. But for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
He had to fight for every yard on that run, shook himself free of a tackle, and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
This now a 3rd and 4.
Now a handoff up the middle. Parker. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Right back to him on 1st down. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
2nd down and 4.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Parker. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd and 2, Waters. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
On 4th down, Waters. He's going to take another shot here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Bucs,
they're a win away now from running the table here in the regular season. They moved to 16-0 on the year.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.